One of the most haunted places in Savannah, Georgia that you can stay at is the 1790 Inn. The 1790 Inn and Restaurant is a historic inn, restaurant and tavern and is located on East President Street, just west of Columbia Square, and is Savannah's oldest inn, occupying a building dating to 1790, thus predating the foundation of the square. The entrance to its tavern is at the corner of Lincoln Street and East York Street. The building, which now houses the 1790, is actually 3 buildings in total. The first 2 parts of this haunted building were constructed between 1821 and 1823. A third part of the building was built in 1888. The ground level is believed to be part of an earlier structure that was burned in the Savannah Fire of 1820. The most well-known ghost at the 1790 Inn is the Ghost of Inn. She has been seen many times on the top floor, in room number 204, and is known to enjoy harassing visitors and their belongings. Guests who stay in room 204 regularly report having their belongings moved, rearranged, or even come up missing. Guests have also said they feel the presence of it while staying in the room. Sheets have been tugged by an unseen force. The sobs of a woman crying have been heard from the dark corners of room 204 after the lights go out. Those hoping to have an encounter with the ghost they call and are not often let down. The story of it goes, there was a woman living in the building which makes up the east part of the property. Suffering from a loss of a loved one, she threw herself over the railing of her second-story balcony. Her body smashed into the brick courtyard below, ending her life. However, it is unknown who Inn is exactly. The first Inn associated with the 1790 Inn is Inn White, the wife of Steele White, who was the person responsible for the building of the first 2 parts of the building. However, Steele was not around for the finish of construction. He died in a horse riding accident in 1823. His widow was heartbroken. But after Steele died, she moved from the house to the Isle of Hope, located south of Savannah. There, she lived with her sister and her brother-in-law for several years. Additionally, the part of the building that she reportedly jumped from wasn't even built until 1888. These 2 facts seem to rule out Inn White from being the inn in the ghost story that is commonly told. Some believe the ghost could be in Powers. In 1888, the Powers family bought the building that houses the 1790. They also added the third part of the building, the east portion of the building. It was this part of the building that Anne reportedly threw herself from. However, Anne Powers lived past the age of 80. She is mentioned in the 1920 census as being 78 years of age. If you were to go back and look at an earlier census, it reports that she had lived at that address for a very long time, since the 1890 census. She lived there with her husband, Patrick. At the time of the 1920 census, he was 82 years of age. Another ghost which has been reported at the 1790 over the years seems to have taken up residence in the kitchen. This ghost is much more sinister in nature than the ghost which is sometimes seen upstairs. Apparently, the ghost which haunts the kitchen is not fond of women being in the kitchen. Pots have been thrown, people have been pushed or touched, and pranks have been pulled on women who are working in or around the kitchen. Staff members who have been working late at night in the bar area or kitchen have had unnerving things happen to them. While all alone in the 1790, they will hear the sounds of someone moving in the kitchen, pots banging together, and the sound of metal jingling. It is believed this is the ghost of a servant who used to serve the family who lived in the house. It is also believed they may have been a practitioner of voodoo. The last ghost that haunts the grounds of the 1790 Inn is a boy named Thaddeus. He is sometimes seen on the ground floor of the restaurant and tavern. Thaddeus is known for leaving shiny pennies lying on the tables, bar, and the desk. He is a friendly spirit who is sometimes experienced as a warm, unexplainable presence.